How you doing today? Welcome to the Friday edition of David Palmer's Drink of the Day. I'm going to do a couple interesting drinks today. One is a throwback to the Prohibition era, which I'll give you some nice history on, but the other one is something a little more islandy and fun. We're going to start off with a drink today called the Kick in the Head. The Kick in the Head is an interesting and volatile cocktail made with several different types of liquor. We're going to start the Kick in the Head by pouring half mango, half orange juice into our shaker. It's about 3 ounces of each, mango and orange at that point. And then we're going to do the juice from 2 limes. And I'll save those limes as a garnish for later. Then we're going to do, obviously, what do we always do? A little bit of bourbon. Now, 2 jiggers, this is a drink for 2 people, so it calls for 2 jiggers, which is 3 ounces of bourbon. There's 2, there's 3 of bourbon. And then it also calls for the same amount of rum. A lighter rum, we're going to use the pure rum that's from Guyana. Same amount. 3 ounces of rum. Oh, that's going to be good. Okay, here's the interesting part. We're going to shake this up. And we're going to need a bottle opener here, not a big deal, because this drink is a little fizzy. It calls for ginger ale. I'm going to use Ale 8, which is a type of ginger ale. For those of you who just like to call it Ale 8, it is a type of ginger ale. We're going to sprinkle this, put this into our glass. Here's where it gets a little interesting. Couple lime wedges, ginger ale, and something to set it off just a little bit. Fresh ground black pepper on top. Pepper is an aromatic. Most people they kind of wonder how that spice works. It means you don't really use pepper to cook early on. You use it later to give an aromatic flavor to your drink. So there's our pepper drink. This is a beautiful drink. We'll let you get a close-up of this one. I'll put the limes towards you so they're not in my way. Now we're going to go to another drink that is a little more interesting, but it's got many of the similar ingredients to it. So what I'm going to do is empty my shaker real quick and get ready for that one. Get some more ice in my shaker. Now let me tell you a little bit about this next drink. This next drink is called the 12-mile limit. And the funny thing about the 12-mile limit is none of you were alive, nor was I, during the Volstead Act. The Volstead Act was the act that caused the United States for it to be illegal to consume and produce alcohol beverages. It's what caused the Roaring Twenties. It's what caused the influx of poor alcohol, which caused us to start making more cocktails at the time in the 20s. We were doing that before, but boy, the Roaring 20s were when we made cocktails. Now, the originator of this drink, the 3-mile limit, was simply cognac, a little bit of rum, grenadine, and lime juice. The reason it was called the 3-mile limit is because people could go 3 miles offshore. They could go out there and get blasted, have drinks, and it was completely legal, and then come back. They could even almost row out that far. Well, Congress, in its infinite wisdom, decided, well, people are getting over. We're going to move the limit to 12 miles. That'll make it hard. Well, what that did was it caused a bunch of enterprising ship and boat owners that had large vessels to create, basically, it was your original booze cruise. Those of you who have been to Cancun or someplace like that, yes, it's the booze cruise. Get on the boat, go 12 miles out, have a party, drink all you want. Well, the 12-mile limit drink was made, kind of toast that. We're going to go ahead and do the 12 mile, and I'll do 2 of these, but it starts with an ounce. Let's use this one. It starts with an ounce of, and we're going to make 2, so it's 2 ounces of rum. 2 ounces of rum. We can set that aside, and that's our delicious Guyana rum. Then it calls for, and we're halving this up, of bourbon. So 1 ounce of bourbon. Except we're making 2. So we did 2, so let's do, yes. So we'll do a whole ounce of bourbon. And to really kick this off a little bit, another solid ounce, which would have been half if you're making a single drink, of brandy. Now I'm going to use the Copper and Kings brandy from Louisville, Kentucky. I don't really want to use an expensive brandy in this drink because it'll simply get washed away by the other drinks. And then it also causes for a ½ ounce of lemon juice, so we're going to use 1 ounce of lemon juice in there. Once we get that, oh yes, and a ½ ounce of grenadine. Give it a little more. It's always nice to have something nice and sweet. So this drink is now, there, it's complete. Let's shake this up. When we serve something in a coupe glass like these, the reason that we don't put ice into the drink is because we don't want the ice to melt while you're drinking it and water down what is a strong drink already. So by shaking it over ice, we're chilling the drink and not giving the ice a chance to melt. And this is a beautiful drink. The 12-mile limit. So you could get in a boat, go out in the ocean, and get shipwrecked. We garnish this one, as we did earlier, the ones with a lime wedge. This one is garnished with what's called a flag. So there you go, 2 beautiful drinks, one newer, the Kick in the Head and the 12-mile limit, straight back to Prohibition time. Both amazingly delicious drinks. I hope that you guys take some time this week to sit down and have a drink with your family, friends, whether it's remote or on a Zoom meeting. Have a cocktail. Love your family, hug your kids, and make sure that whatever you do, you're having a bourbon.